Ladies and gentlemen, this Friday night, Friday, July 20th, 8 o'clock is the starting time. Sam Houston Coliseum is the place. Regular ticket prices are in effect for a great wrestling event. It'll be JYD against Hacksaw Butch Reed in a dog collar match. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Fantastics in the six-man tag team war will go against the Midnight Express, and Jim Cornette will wrestle with his team. For the North American title, Magnum TA goes against Big Ernie Ladd. There's much, much more, including the Pretty Young Things going against Nature Boy Buddy Landell and Mr. Wrestling 2. There's Ted DiBiase, there's Dr. Death against Terry Taylor, and much more. And we'll talk about that in its entirety during this hour. But first, let's hear from Landell and Wrestling 2.
You know, brother, when I heard the PYT, I thought they was talking about ourselves, but why don't they just go ahead and come out and tell us their real name, the Lee brothers, Home and Ugg. You know, this is really embarrassing for me to get out here with a man built like this, coming out here having to wrestle two guys, ex-shoe shine boys. You know what I'm talking about. Tell them how embarrassing it is, brother.
PYT, if you're watching right now, listen to what the Nature Boy is telling you, brothers.
Tell them, brother.
Let me tell you something. It's all coming down to this. Houston Town, get ready. Together for the first time, Nature Boy, Buddy Landell, and Mr. Wrestling 2, the Wrecking Crew together. You know, brother, I don't think, how pretty are them pretty young things going to be after we get through it?
Mixed meat, mince meat. Hey, let's give some amateur bodybuilders out there a little inspiration, brother. Not too much. Not too much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to happen Friday night, 8 o'clock. Very arrogant, very powerful, and very dangerous team, and I know that you all are not intimidated by them.
Well, you know, we look like we're going to have our hands full. What do you think, dog?
Yes, a couple of big guys. One look like he's got 22-inch arms, and one like he's got 20-inch arms. But I'm going to tell you one thing, baby. We from the ghettos. We hardcore fighters. To survive in the ghetto, you must be hardcore. And that's what we are. We coming out to meet you head on, my friend. Don't think you're going to have it easy, because we ain't taking nothing from you. Don't take nothing from us. It's just going to be head on, and the best two win. And I think it'll be us, baby. So load your gun and come down there ready for a fight, because that's exactly what you're going to get.
It's a PYT going against Nature Boy Buddy Landell and Big Mr. Wrestling 2. Another great wrestling event, all at regular ticket prices, Friday, July 20th at 8. Ladies and gentlemen, Friday night, July 20th, 8 o'clock's the starting time. Remember, it'll be JYD against Hacksaw Reed in the dog collar match. Jose Lothario and Al Madrid will go against Hector and Chavo Guerrero. Terry Taylor is going to defend the television title, ladies and gentlemen, against Steve Dr. Death Williams. Now, this has been a very controversial issue. I'm sure you've followed here on Mid-South Wrestling. And we're going to talk to the television champion, Terry Taylor, in just a moment. But first, let's hear from a man with a change of heart. Let's hear from Dr. Death.
Terry Taylor, you got a lot of gall to come up here in front of thousands of people in front of TV and tell them you're the TV champion. You weren't man enough to take the medal away from Khrushchev. I was man enough to take it away from him. I was man enough to give him a second chance. So I guess I got to take this matter as a true athlete and give you a chance. Let me tell you, people in Houston, you better go out, buy all the pictures, all the souvenirs, all the pretty T-shirts with his pretty little face. Because after I'm done with Terry Taylor, that pretty face can be all messed up.
Big All-American from Oklahoma University, a man that is obviously, he's got a great athletic background. He's bigger. He's probably stronger, to be very honest with you. And, of course, you haven't denied that. But he has something that you earned, and I think I'm like the rest of the people. You deserve it back.
Well, I feel that way too, but Dr. Death has laid his hands out, his cards. He's shown how he's going to be. But Dr. Death, if that's the way you want it, that's the way it's going to be. You're making the rules for this game. Brother, we'll play it any way you want. I earned that title. I went through somebody, you're saying he's bigger and stronger than me. Well, Khrushchev's bigger and stronger too, and he still went down. Well, I've come too far, and I've worked way too hard to turn back now because of how you feel now, Dr. Death. So I'm telling you right now, brother, I'm coming at you full speed ahead. And I'm glad it's in Houston, because the people there have been great to me, and every time I get in trouble or I get down, the people cheer for me and get me back up. And Dr. Death, I hope you bring the best you got, because, brother, I'm coming at you. Because that title is mine. The medal's mine. And if I got to go through you to get it, I'll do it.
Well, one thing Terry Taylor has going for him, even though he's not as big as Dr. Death, perhaps not as strong, the people do support him immensely. And they're going to be on hand. He'll need that support on Friday, July the 20th, 8 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be Dr. Death, Steve Williams, the four-time All-American from Oklahoma University, going against Terry Taylor. Plus much, much more, JYD against Hacksaw Reed in the dog collar match. And we'll talk about that match later in this hour. Now back to Red. 8 great wrestling matches, 22 top stars this Friday, July 20th, 8 o'clock, Sam Houston Coliseum. A 6-man tag team war, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Fantastics going against the Midnight Express, and the Midnight Express will have as their partner, he will be the third man of the team, Jim Cornette, in wrestling tights. That's worth the price of admission alone. But if Hacksaw Jim Duggan gets his hands on the manager, we may have seen him for the very last time. We'll talk to these men, but first let's hear from a very concerned Jim Cornette.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you people. I am scared, and I'm going to be honest with you people. I did try to get out of this match, but there wasn't anything I could do. They pushed it through. And so I'm going to be in wrestling tights. I'm going to be in a 6-man tag this Friday night in Houston, and standing across the ring from me is going to be a big 300-pound goon that hates my guts, that wants to break my neck, and in 5 seconds could do more gruesome things to my body than you've ever seen in a Frankenstein movie. And I'm talking about Hacksaw Duggan. Just because he went to sleep in the Superdome and let all those people down, just because he took another nap at ringside last time in Houston in that match with the Guerreros, he blames me for it, and he wants to get at me. Now, I'm not too worried about the Fantastics because they look like a couple of male strippers or maybe the board of directors of a massage parlor. But Duggan would cripple me if he got the chance. So for the last week, my mother arranged to fly me to Hollywood, and I've been training personally with Richard Simmons. Richard and I have done everything together. Believe me, I'm ready for an athletic contest, but Dennis and Bobby will protect me from you, Duggan. You'll never get your hands on me in Houston.
Well, that's what the people want to see, gentlemen. They want to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan get his hands on Jim Cornette. It's been building for a long time.
No problem, Jim. We'll be more than glad to take care of Bobby Eaton and Dennis Condrey while Hacksaw gets his hand on Jim Cornette. And boy, I'd like to get a front row seat. I'll be right there watching, as a matter of fact. So I'd like everybody out there to get a front row seat to watch this one. I'm waiting. What about it, Hacksaw?
Well, I told the people in Houston that they'd be here, and here they are, the Fantastics. I called them up on the telephone. I didn't just holler at them. I called them up on the phone and said, "Come on down. I need some help. I need somebody to keep the Midnight Express a little busy because it's a 6-man tag, you know, and I don't want to get in there over my head. So I got myself a good partners. And here we go, 6-man tag with Cornette. Sooner or later, Jimbo, your boys aren't going to be able to help you. And you're right. I do remember last time I was in Houston when I was down with the help of one of your cronies. Got that sleeping gas. What do you call that, Jim?
Ether.
Ether, right. There you go. I got that ether down in my mouth. I couldn't breathe. I was doing my fillet of fish out like a light. Same thing happened in the Superdome when I was kissing on some pretty girls. But not this time, baby. You guys, Midnight Express, are going to have your hands full, and sooner or later, Jim, your Midnight Express is going to be tired. They're going to be a little scared. Their knees will be shaking, or they're going to be hurt, and they're going to have to tag you. And, baby, when they tag you, old Hacksaw Duggan is going to take something out of your hide.
On Friday, July 20th, 8 o'clock, Sam Houston Coliseum, ladies and gentlemen. 8 great matches, 22 top stars, and it's all going to happen at that time. A dog collar match is what we want to focus on at this time, and now let's hear from Hacksaw Butch Reed. He'll explain that dog collar match to you.
A dog collar match, a 10-foot chain. You know something, dog? You know what your problem is, boy? You ain't housebroke yet, see? That's your problem. You ain't learned how to go in and out of the house when you supposed to, understand? So the dog catcher, Butch Reed, is gonna have to teach you some manners, understand? Because, boy, I done took you in a ghetto street fight match, come dressed as you are, and I whooped you right out your filthy, nasty socks. I took you in the yellow paint match, boy, and you walked out of there instead of old black greasy dog, old high yellow dog. I took you in 10-foot steel cage matches, and I made you run through the cage. I made you climb the wall and be a fist jumper. I took you in tape fist matches, boy, and I made you use that tape on other parts of your anatomy that I will not mention. So I'm kicking in the dog out. This is the ultimate dog collar match, boy. Your game, you understand? And when I change the dog to the post, baby, Butch Reed hails forever.
Well, JY, this is your kind of match. He was right about that, and this is the ultimate. And it's all on the line this Friday night in Houston.
This is going to be a nasty situation. You know, the last time there in Houston, I had one of the toughest fights that I ever had along with Butch Reed due to the fact that I had some outside interference. But like you said, we're going to have 10 foot of change. Each one of us have a dog collar around our necks. You know, big as Butch neck is my neck, we better add about 3 or 4 more feet of change to that thing so we'll have enough room to maneuver around in there. But I'm going to tell you one thing, Reed. Oh, yeah. It's going to come down to you or me kicking in the doghouse, or you being the dog catcher or whatever. It's been 5 or 6 years. People been running behind me trying to catch a dog catcher, and all they caught was fumes. And that's exactly what you're going to catch. One of us going to walk out that ring together, and one of us might. But I'm going to pray to the man above. Just let both of us be able to walk out. But I know, Butch Reed, deep down in your heart, you want the old dog lane so you can get up there on the totem pole. But like I said, you can take an outhouse along with 1,000 gnats and send them out in the woods, and 1,000 of you wouldn't draw flies.
One may and one may not walk out of the ring on this match. It is the Junkyard Dog, especially the vicious dog collar match. Hacksaw Reed and JYD connected at the neck with a 10-foot steel chain. It is a brutal match. This issue will be settled Friday, July 20th. That's this Friday night at 8 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, this Friday night, starting at 8 o'clock at the Sam Houston Coliseum, there are going to be 8 tremendous matches, 22 top stars. This spectacular, all at regular ticket prices. Several championship matches, including a North American title match that will feature as the challenger. He is 6'9", weighs well over 300 pounds. You know him well in Houston. Ernie Ladd will challenge the champion, Magnum TA. This match has been signed, sealed, and it will be delivered on Friday, July the 20th. And now let's hear from that challenger. Let's hear from the big cat.
I beg your difference, Mr. TV announcer. I'm not a challenger. I am a champion. I've been a champion all my life. And I have you to know one thing, Magnum TA. The things that I've seen of you lately been extremely good. Someone has taken you under their arm and developed you. 6 or 8 months ago, I could have called you a paper champion. I could have called you a nobody. But you developed well, your skills has gotten better. I'm older, I'm wiser, and I'm a better wrestler. And when I take the title from you, that's what yours truly back on the throne again. When I slap your face and abuse you, that force you to do things that you didn't expect to do.
For years, Big Ernie Ladd beat up offensive linemen, and of course the fans of the Houston Oilers know that very well. That was a team sport. Now we're looking one-on-one. It's individual competition, and the ultimate individual competition comes about this Friday night.
I tell you something, Ernie Ladd. Yes, you are the challenger, but TA takes on all challenges. The last time in Houston, I met the challenge of one Ted DiBiase, and it was one of the most tremendous matches of my entire life. A great accomplishment for me. It was such a tough match, we tore the ring down. That's right, the ropes fell down off the post because it couldn't contain the match we were having. But yes, I came out victorious with the support of all those people out there driving me on. I didn't give up, and I'm still standing here today, the champion. Well, Big Ernie Ladd, you made one big mistake, because nobody puts their hand in my face. It doesn't matter if you're 5 feet tall or 7 feet tall. Nobody does that and gets away with it. You knew the title match would come up. You knew Mid-South would give it to you eventually. Well, now you're going to have more of me than you're going to know what to do with. When you get me in Sam Houston Coliseum, the rafters are going to shake when we collide, and you're going to know what a fighting champion Magnum TA is. You won't want anything to do with me, big man.